guys, so I couldn't figure out what color I wanted to wear today, so I literally wore every color. Hello, beautiful people of the fragrance community. Mike here with iSMELL. Hope this video finds you well. For those of y'all who are not already aware of who I am, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mike, and yes, I am a professional fragrance reviewer. And by professional fragrance reviewer, what I mean is that I buy fragrances, smell them, and then give my completely subjective opinions on them. If that's something you would be interested in, I am going to encourage you to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. Not only does it strengthen the YouTube algorithm, it also ensures that you're able to stay tuned in to future content that I upload. Okay, so several days ago, Tyler over at Simply Fragrances uploaded a tag video. The concept of this tag video was to assign a specific fragrance for a specific occasion and then assign 4 individuals to tackle each occasion.
What's going to be the preference for this is I'm going to give 3 people, or well, 3, how about 3 people, a different season and a different occasion to wear a fragrance in, and they got to pick the fragrance based off the season and occasion that I give to them. I'm going to tag iSMELL. So, man, what are you going to do? You are going to do, I'm going to give you winter, okay? I'm going to give you winter, and I want to see what fragrance you would wear to how about Christmas. So if you guys celebrate Christmas or do any kind of holiday festivities, I want to see what fragrance you would wear on, you know, the Christmas day with you and your family.
So yeah, I'm sure Tyler is well aware by now that I'm not the type to shy away from a challenge. Having said that, Tyler, the challenge is accepted. Today I'm going to be discussing a fragrance for the specific occasion of Christmas. Which fragrance am I talking about? Let's find out. I'll see y'all on the other side of the intro. Okay, so just to reiterate, today I'm going to be talking about a winter fragrance for the specific purpose of Christmas. When I think about Christmas, I think about cold weather. So I want a cold weather scent. I also think about decorating the Christmas tree with the family so people are going to be close in my scent bubble. I also think about fellowship with family and friends coming over, cooking and hanging out. So I want something that's going to project a bit. Or whether I'm going to the Trella Lights. I know a lot of cities have their own version of Trella Lights. Trella Lights in Austin, Texas is basically a place where the city just lights up entire city blocks and you just walk around and see the Christmas lights and all the decorations. So I want something that's going to cut through cold weather as well. I want a fragrance that is going to create a lasting scent memory. So the fragrance that I'm going to choose for this Christmas in order to create a lasting scent memory is none other than Rochas Mustache EDP. So yeah, let me be the first to thank you, Tyler, because I've been looking for a good reason to showcase this fragrance for a long time. I'm sure many of you are aware my channel is only a couple months old, and this is one of the fragrances that I've wanted to showcase since my channel's inception. This is the perfect opportunity for me to show love to Rochas Mustache EDP. Okay, so Rochas Mustache EDP was a fragrance that was launched in 2018. The nose behind this fragrance is a lady named Natalie Gracias Seto. She is the nose behind many beautiful fragrances. Some include, but are not limited to, Dior Higher Energy, Burberry Sport for him, Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male et Parfum, Paco Rabanne's Lucky 1 Million, as well as Jean Paul Gaultier's Scandal. But that's just a fraction of the beautiful fragrances that she is the nose behind. This is one of those instances where I 100% recommend you check Fragrantica for the full list. She has many beautiful fragrances under her belt. Rochas Mustache EDP is classified as an amber woody fragrance, and as it relates to this fragrance specifically, what you're going to anticipate is a warm, woody, slightly spicy scent with an intimate floral rose in the dry down. This is a beautiful fragrance, you guys, and I am incredibly looking forward to wearing it once it starts getting colder in Texas. Okay, so here's a fun fact as it relates to Rochas Mustache EDP. A lot of people claim, and I'm inclined to agree, that this fragrance is strikingly similar to a fragrance launched in 2015 by YSL called Tuxedo. Mind you, YSL Tuxedo is a fragrance from YSL's private / luxury line, and it's a fragrance that's also $350 or more now that there are rumors of it being discontinued. continued. Do take note that I will be comparing Rochas Mustache to Tuxedo, as well as to a third fragrance that is starting to get some hype. I will be uploading that video next week, so please, if you're not already subscribed, feel free to do so because I am looking forward to uploading that video. Also, be aware that if you're looking at Rochas Mustache, that there is a summer version as well as a winter version. In this case, we're talking about the winter version. There is also a Rochas Mustache EDT that looks very much like this bottle. However, it's more akin to like an Eau Sauvage EDT. It's a citrus dominated fragrance that is good for hot weather. I can't vouch for the fragrance because I've never tried it. However, when doing my research, that's what I came to learn. So do take that into consideration. If you pull the trigger, just make sure that you're getting the EDP if it's the one that you want for cold weather. All right, you guys, so let's talk about the presentation of Rochas Mustache, as I feel like the house of Rochas is criminally underrated in general. However, they are thoughtful when presenting their bottles and their fragrances to the consumer. The bottle in and of itself is glass and it's very heavy. You can also notice that there are grooves, vertical grooves that run from the top all the way to the base of the fragrance. This is a fragrance that feels very good in your hand. This is a very heavy bottle and it ranks as one of the more heavy bottles in my collection, you guys. The cap is metal. There is a little bit of plastic in the cap. However, the majority of this fragrance is a metal cap and is a glass bottle. It will say Rochas. It is engraved right there. And for those of y'all who like batch codes, there is a sticker that shows the batch code right there. All in all, this is a very superb presentation. It's one of the more regal bottles sitting on my shelf. All right, you guys, so here's where it gets kind of tricky. When I purchased this fragrance initially, I bought it for around $50 to $60. I was trying to find y'all a vendor for that price point, and I came to learn after checking literally 6 vendors, and they were all sold out. So good luck finding this bottle. My advice to y'all would be, if you see this fragrance at one of the discounters, snatch it up, pull the trigger, don't hesitate. This is a blind buy worthy fragrance. I checked 5 or 6 vendors. None of them had the fragrance. I would leave a link to a vendor. However, I was not able to find one. And due to the lack of availability, it is likely that when they do pop up, they're gonna sell out quick and the prices are gonna be jacked up. So if you can find it for the $60 mark, snatch it up, you guys. This is a beautiful fragrance and it is blind buy worthy. I wouldn't recommend blind buying fragrances, but in this case, it smells very good, you guys. Notable notes on Mustache EDP is going to include at the top pink pepper as well as mandarin oranges. Middle notes on this fragrance are going to include Atlas cedar as well as Bulgarian rose. And the base notes are going to include most notably benzoin and vanilla with a hint of patchouli. Every one of these notes are thoughtfully blended and they transition into one another magnificently, you guys. Let's talk about the atomizer. I feel like it has a wide distribution. I bought it for $50, $60, and for that price point, it's an amazing atomizer. I literally have no complaints. All right, you guys, so what do I smell on Mustache EDP? Immediately upon spraying, you smell the mandarin oranges. The mandarin oranges are not sour. It's very bright. It's very sweet. It's very aromatic. It's slightly fizzy. You're also gonna pick up rather quickly on the pink pepper. The pink pepper, I would say, kind of dominates the top notes. As it relates to pink pepper in general, it is kind of an interesting note in the sense that it's spicy but also floral. The pink pepper in Mustache EDP is kind of herbal, but I admittedly pick up on a rosy nuance. I think that's from the pink pepper as well. And it's a very thoughtful note as it transitions as a beautiful top note into the middle notes quite beautifully, in all honesty. You'll pick up on the Bulgarian rose in the mid notes. I would say the Bulgarian rose is one of the lifeblood notes of this fragrance. As it relates to the Bulgarian rose, it is quite feminine, it's quite floral, slightly powdery. That's the demeanor, and a good portion of this fragrance is going to be dominated by that. However, the fragrance is balanced by this Atlas cedarwood. The Atlas cedarwood is a quite dominant and a quite masculine scent profile. It helps to give this fragrance a woody depth that otherwise it would be lacking. It helps to contribute to this fragrance performance in general as well. Okay, so as it relates to the base notes are absolutely stunning in Rochas Mustache EDP. What you're gonna get is a beautiful benzoin note. Benzoin is another one of those fragrance notes that is the lifeblood of this fragrance. As it relates to the benzoin, it is beautifully rich, you guys, and it pairs with the vanilla perfectly. It warms this fragrance up and it gives it that boozy demeanor that most people attribute this fragrance with having. It's what makes it feel so similar to Tuxedo in general, you guys. And last but not least, they threw in some patchouli. It's a damp and dark patchouli, slightly earthy, and it gives this fragrance a bit of depth, and it also contributes to further that woody aspect and demeanor that this fragrance ultimately has. Like I said, it is a amber woody fragrance. All right, you guys, so that's Rochas Mustache EDP in a nutshell. Thank you, Tyler, for including me in the tag. It was a pleasure to finally talk about this fragrance because it is one of the fragrances that I, without a doubt, plan on using as one of my quintessential fragrances for the winter, specifically for the holiday season and for Christmas. This is a fragrance that I intend to make many good scent memories with. All right, so here's the portion where I tag 4 individuals. I assign them a specific occasion and they pick a fragrance based on that occasion. The first person I'm going to tag is Mike with the fragrance Wardrobe. He is a fellow Texan, so we share a similar climate. I would be interested to know what fragrance he's planning on wearing for autumn. The occasion will be, I think he has a side hustle where he's in the fragrance industry to some degree, so I would be curious to know what fragrance he would wear once it transitions into fall in Texas at work at his side hustle in the fragrance industry. The second person I'm gonna tag is Sarah with Glam Finds. I am going to tag her. I'm going to assign her a winter fragrance, and the specific occasion is just an at-home get-together, something that she would consider a cheapy gem, a Dumb Reach signature fragrance, a cheapy gem for the winter when having friends around. The third person I'm going to tag is 2 + 2 = fragrance. I notice he has a lot of tattoos. I don't know too much about him, so I'm gonna pick the occasion of going to a tattoo parlor during the spring weather. What fragrance would you choose to be around while getting a tattoo at a tattoo parlor? The fourth person I'm gonna tag is the Homme House of Kollasus. I wanna know what fragrance you're gonna wear in Chicago in the summer heat. Let me know how hot it gets in Chicago during the summer. I've never been there. I'd be curious to know what fragrance is your go-to for the summer. Try to mix it up. Don't pick something that everybody else usually picks. All right, you guys, so that's the tag video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoy fragrance related content specifically, I am going to encourage you to subscribe to my channel. I want to thank everybody who has recently subscribed. I've just hit 150 subscribers, so that is a milestone in and of itself. Thank you guys. I have some great content coming down the pipe, so stay tuned. Until then, y'all stay safe. Take care. Bye.